What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be interviewing Nova, and he's going to be telling us his story about his time in Deathwatch and his time in Bunktown and all about that. So, let's go ahead and start. What names have you gone by in Bunktown?
Well, I started off as, when I found the game, I started off as Roger J, which was just like a surname I made up, Roger J. No one really knew it. No one really found it. Like I was just basically known with a trash name.
How do you spell that?
And then Rochaj.
Cool.
I realized I looked kind of Indian, so I changed it.
You don't like Indian?
I didn't want it to seem like I was Indian. Everyone thought I was Indian.
Yeah, that makes sense. Rocaj, you said?
Rochaj.
Ro- Rochaj. Yeah, that does sound Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. When did you have that name from?
I just made it up.
No, but like, what time period did you use that name?
When I started, 2022.
Nice. All right. What other names have you gone by?
After that, after I realized I didn't like it, went to Joshy, which is my name, and I just added like three E's to the end, so I just made Joshy, like a really long
Nice.
Josh.
Yeah, average pickup
And
name.
then, yeah, then after that, I just went to Nova, which is my main name now, which I just go on most games. I just use Nova because it hides my name better,
Yeah,
so
you
people don't
definitely
really
don't
know
want to
who I am.
share your name, even though we're making this interview. But, whatever.
Yeah,
No one's. Josh is such a
I don't
common
mind.
name. No one's going to figure out anything. Just don't ever share your last name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are those all the names you've gone by?
yeah, I literally only went by three
Cool. Sounds good. How long have you been playing Bunktown specifically?
since February 2022.
Nice. What is the
Yeah,
reason you came
that's
to Bunk originally?
well, it just kind of found it. I was looking for IO games, um, just like a browser game to play that I didn't need to download, and I just found Bunk and I started playing it and I liked it and I just kind of played it for ages.
How exactly did you
Yeah,
find it though? You were just searching up like browser games and you found it? Do you remember what website it
yeah.
was
I
on?
just read, I just read IO games like the .io. Then
Yeah.
it just was in the long list of them.
That's cool. All right. Um, and then what are some reasons or no, sorry, why do you still play Bunktown? Or if you do, why do you still play? And if you don't play anymore, why did you still play as of 2 days ago when you were playing?
Well, I'm still playing it, but I don't know really what else to play because my PC is not really good enough to get some big games that won't fit on my PC. Or
So, okay.
games that have too much memory space. So that's why I'm playing Bunk until I find something. I can play Minecraft, but I already got it downloaded and everything, but I just don't have anyone to play with it at this time in England. So
Well, you got like there's 283 people in Deathwatch, and I'm sure there's plenty of them that will be willing to play Minecraft with you. I can talk to you about that. I can definitely hook you up with some people that'll play Minecraft with you after the interview. But yeah, definitely, you're not utilizing Deathwatch as a resource as much as you can. There's 283 amazing people in this server that many of them like Minecraft or came to us through Minecraft or play Minecraft. But yeah, we'll talk about that after. How does that sound?
yeah,
I personally was playing Minecraft last night actually. Was doing a speed run on the newest version 1.21.3. I ended up dying because I pillared up and the piglins jumped and hit me at the last. I was about to pillar up one more block to make it 3 blocks, and they jumped and hit me when I was low. But whatever. Next question. what are some reasons that you have quit, and what are some reasons on why you have returned in your Bunktown history?
Oh, in the past, I was like actually allowed to play games on mic now, and I would play with my friends in real life, and I would also stop in Bunk because I would play like Minecraft with my friends, or I got grounded or something like that, and I wouldn't be able to play.
Okay. So getting grounded and then taking a break and playing other games because you wanted to play
Yeah,
other games, those are the main reasons. All right.
yeah.
And then what are some of the reasons on why you've returned?
Well, because my friends got grounded, and then they stopped playing, so I got bored, and I just started playing Bunk again. Because it's like with other communities.
Sounds great. Awesome. That's definitely a valid reason. What is your favorite item?
Probably like it's more neutral for me, but like plague, because it's like a source of lots of things. Like you need a plague for a lot of things,
Yeah, that's also my
or a
favorite
gas,
item.
but like plague's better. Yeah.
Awesome. Can you sell me vials?
No, I don't got any. I
Okay.
would have to farm them.
Yeah, that's sort of a joke question. Who are your
Yeah, I know.
five? So this one is the longest question. Who are your five favorite and least favorite players in Bunk in order? Yeah, starting off with worst.
Oh, it was the worst. Probably DS or fishy.
Wait, let's start off
I
at. So
don't
this is
really
how I
like
want to
them.
do this. I want to start off at number five, spend about a minute talking about the person and why they're at number five, and then, you know, go go from there. It doesn't have to be a whole minute, but at least 30 seconds for each person I want to talk about. So number five, who do you have for five? The fifth worst person you hate the most in the game?
Fishy.
Fishy.
Or not DS, DS.
DS. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
All right. So Fishy would be
I don't
number
like them
four.
as much as yeah.
Okay, so why is DS at number five? Why is he slightly not as bad as Fishy?
Oh, Fishy's not that good. He's just good with bats. DS is just
Well,
like
remember,
he's not good. It's
listen, we're not talking about who you think is the best player. We're talking about
I
who
know,
is your least favorite person in the game.
I know that that's the reason is because they're really annoying and they're good. So when I like try like farm or anything, they're just good at beating me and
Yeah.
doing stuff like that. Or when I'm PvPing, they're just like really good at killing me, and I get really annoyed.
So you don't like them
They're
because
like
they're
really,
formidable opponents?
yeah.
All right. Is there any other reasons why you dislike either one of them?
Nah, pretty much just I hate PvPing them. Although when I do beat them, it's like a victory. Or like
Yeah.
it's like so it
They've
feels so
probably
good when I
been
beat
very
them.
long-term enemies of yours over the years, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Although
Um,
one time I did team with Fishy, but like I think it was under my Joshy name, so he didn't know it's me Nova.
yeah.
So
All right, cool. You want to move on to number three now?
yeah,
Awesome. Um,
probably probably HM.
HM.
This
He
guy
was
called
in Purple Heart,
yeah,
right?
I think.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, I used to team with him in farm. Then yeah, he kind of just betrayed and just started being like proud of himself because he got rich, and then yeah,
Okay.
and
Do
just
you know who
he
Hun
just got rich
is? Do
and
you know if
started.
he's Civ?
I don't know.
I feel like he went
I
under a
remember when
different
I used
name.
to play with
Say
him,
it
he
in the
was 11.
comments, anyone, if you know. I have a feeling he's Civ, who I tried to get him to join the good side and let him in. He had a rough up and down history of failures with that. To get him in Death Watch, yeah, he doesn't have much good in him, it seems. But yeah, anything else about him before we move on to number two?
No, just that we used to like share so much loot, and we would like farm like FPI like 5 times a day, every day together. Anytime I'd get on, we would just farm FBI and stuff and have fun. But
Nice.
yeah,
Well, yeah, that's what happens in Bunktown when you're not in Deathwatch.
mm.
Anyways, it can still happen if you're in Deathwatch, but it's a lot lower of a chance, of course. Number two?
Probably you, the particle. You're a good clan leader. You like
Wait,
deal with
why
things
are
well.
you? I'm confused. Why am I number two most hated, and then you start off by saying I'm a good clan leader? That doesn't make sense. Why am I number two most
What?
hated?
Why this is hated?
Yeah, this is
There's
hated.
5 for hated, 5. Oh, I thought it's for like the order of everything.
So,
My bad, because
so
I already wrote
is
5 names in total, because there's only 5 people that actually matter
okay. Well, we can
in
come
this game to
back.
me.
We can come back to that. So, so DS was number five worst. Fishy was number four worst.
Yeah,
Was number three worst. Um,
yeah.
so do you not know who's number two and one worst?
I don't really have that many like people that I really care about.
All
That I
right.
like
Well, let's
generally.
just focusing on trying to finish that list. If there's so I guess we could move everyone up the list. So DS would be number three, Fishy number two, and number one, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so then just we don't need to be specific on number four and five, but if you had to think, we can if you need more time to think, we can come back to this later. But in terms of number four and five, who are some people that you think might fit into that category? I think there's plenty for you to choose from.
Even like vibes and like this is really annoying.
You want to talk a
Ghost.
bit about
Ghost is
vibes? You want to talk a bit about vibes in Ghost and why you choose them?
yeah. Well, Ghost is just generally annoying because even when you beat him, he still trash talks and he doesn't even say GG or anything.
He's also racist and he has a
Yeah.
lack of social common sense. He is extremely immature and stupid and toxic. I've tried to work out basic neutralities with him, and he's failed to maintain basic communication. It's extremely irritating. He goes back on his word and then ghosts you, funny enough, in the name. When you try to resolve things, he just ghosts you. At least that's what he did to me. Um, and yeah, I've had very negative experiences with him. Um, does not treat people well. Um, yeah. Anything else you want to say about Ghost?
Hmm?
I was asking, is there anything else you want to add to what I said about Ghost before we move on to vibes?
Yeah. Not much. He's just a bad PvPer and just generally annoying.
Yeah. I don't want you to focus too much on how people play the game or how good they are at
Mhm.
PvP. It's mainly the social side of it is the point of this list, but the way they play the game does also have a factor in it, but that's not as important as the social side of it. All right, now vibes. I've already talked a lot about vibes in my interview with Chemical, so I'm not going to talk too much about vibes. Just why is he there for you on the list?
He's just like a betrayer. He betrayed my brother when my brother tried teaming with him. He just he's not a good person in general. I think I'm pretty sure he's racist. And I never voice chatted with him, but like he says the N word in game and stuff like that. I don't know. He's just a bad person in game. I don't know if he is in real life, but
I
yeah.
think a lot of the PTBs, I would say, are bad people on the outside and inside when it comes to in game, and then they are good people on the outside in real life, but bad people on the inside. I would say that that is a that is the most common sort of social structure of a PTB. Um, how I would imagine them, at least. What do you think about that?
Yeah, pretty much.
What'd you say?
Sometimes people just act in games different than real life because they believe that it won't give any consequences, so they can
Yeah, they
act like
think
how
it's
they.
just a game, so then they can treat people however they want just because it's behind a screen, which is wrong. That's called
Yeah,
cyberbullying. You can get arrested for that. Um, I mean, not that this specifically is cyberbullying, but that's an example of something similar. Um, you know, if you hack the government, sure that's behind a screen, but it's could be millions or tons of millions of maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damages digitally. You go to prison for life for that. The whole delusional, crazy, stupid analogy of, oh, because it's behind a screen or because it's a game means it's not serious is stupid. But I don't need to go into a long rant about that any more than I already have. So, would you like to start? Is there anything else you need to say about vibes before we move on to top 5 favorite players?
already.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Now, your number fifth most favorite player, who is that?
But like the least favorite
No, no, no,
out of
no.
the five.
Yeah, out of your top
The most.
five favorite
Right, okay.
people, who is the least favorite out of the five?
Well, probably, I don't know. Probably,
Why don't you
let's
spend
see
some
who I
more
know.
time thinking about it? How many people on the list have you already figured out? Don't say the name of them, but how many do you already have figured out?
I only had 5 people on my list because I
So
thought it
you
was
have
like
two out of the
five
three of the
people.
top five figured out. Is that correct?
Um, what do you mean?
You said, so as of now, you have two of, I'm asking you, do you have two of the three or two of the five top players that are your favorite figured out already?
Yeah,
Okay, so I want you to
I have.
spend some time thinking
Yeah,
about the other three, and we'll come back to it at the end of the interview, okay? So,
yeah.
let's do some simple questions so you can think while we talk about that. What's your favorite hat in the game?
Well, probably the sign
Okay.
because I can like I used to do this thing where I would like start screaming in the game like spamming AH, and then I would change my name to Supernova, and I'd just start trying my best and just destroying people.
That is really cringy, but really cool and funny at the same time. What would you spam in the chat?
Just AH, just like
Oh
and then
my
I'd change my name
god.
and then it'd be like Supernova.
That's funny. That's cool. Did the super part of Nova also have a cool font?
Yeah,
That's
it would be
awesome.
like Supernova. Yeah,
Nice.
although now I know it's cringe.
Did the font of the super have a similar font to the font of the Nova?
Yeah, it was the same.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. What is your favorite
So
boss to
much.
farm?
FBI,
Why?
because it's satisfying when you beat him, as you get a mini, and sometimes you can get sometimes you can get
Homeless.
Homo, yeah,
Yeah.
and then yeah, it's easy to split the loot because there's like a decent amount of money and a decent either mini or money.
I feel like a
And
good way
usually
to
we like
split it
switch
is one
around.
person gets the mini, one person gets everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. Um, Let me think. How old are you and where are you from?
I'm 15. I was born in Brazil. And I moved to the UK, and I lived here for like 12 years.
Nice. That's awesome to
So I
hear.
moved since I was like 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also moved from Louisiana to Texas when I was 3.
Mm.
Um, what is your favorite thing and least favorite thing about Bunktown?
Well, probably um my least favorite thing is people who are toxic and too good at the games. Like it seems like the hacking, that's how good they are. Like they generally just can't be beaten by like 5 people v1, which seems like they're hacking, but I just don't know how they're
I don't think
good.
anyone in the game that applies to. If the 5 people are somewhat good and coordinated, there's no single player in the game that can handle 5 people at the same time if they're like somewhat good and organized. Um, Trust me, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. And if their gear is at least somewhat equivalent, like even if it was 5 respirator kits versus 1 plague, no safe zones, no logging, like you can't do anything against that, no matter how good you are. I mean, maybe if you had like V-gun and minigun, rare candy, like riot, like something like that, but whatever. Let's move on to the next question. Um, or what? Yeah, so that's your least favorite thing. What is your favorite thing about Bunktown?
Well, I really like PvPing and farming FPR with my friends.
Nice. What are
Yeah.
what are the kind of people that you PvP with, and what are the kind of people that you farm FBI with? Like some of the people.
Well, I only ever farm FPI with people that are like I trust and I get close to them, like voice chat and stuff. Otherwise, I don't farm it unless I know they're rich and they wouldn't betray,
Just
like
because
some
someone's
people.
rich is not a good reason to have them betray, or to whether you know what I'm saying. Just because they're rich doesn't mean it's a good reason on why
Yeah, I
they
know.
won't betray. I think a good rule of thumb is, if since you're a Deathwatch member, if they're in Deathwatch, you can trust them to not scam or betray, especially if they've been in Deathwatch for more than like a month. If they've been in Deathwatch for less than a month, it doesn't really mean as much as if
Yeah, I
they've been
know.
in Deathwatch for longer than a month or so, give or take. Um,
Yeah.
Also, depending on how active they were in that month, the more active they were, the less they would have needed to play to make that up for a month. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. Um, awesome. So, could you give an example of some of the general people you have farmed FBI with in the past, or PvP with in the past? You can say more recently, or in long term overall, or
Well,
both.
there was HM who I used to farm it when he used to actually be like new, and I was training him to get good at the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like donating him stuff and stuff. I was giving him stuff, and then he betrayed. And then there's Myth. Myth is like my friend, though he's younger than me, but still.
Yeah, Myth
We
betrayed
farmed FPL
Deathwatch. He
so
was a
many times.
spy in Deathwatch for a very long time.
I know.
Or he was in
Sadly,
the
he was in the
Deathwatch
wrong clan.
server for a very long time. Yeah, he got banned when I saw him in the Purple Heart Discord. He was in the server for so long. I remember talking with him, and he was going to come play Dreadnought with us in the later stages of our Dreadnought incursion, which didn't really happen. But yeah, no. Things ended when he made that decision. I'm not in the position where I'm interested in giving people like him a second chance. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
But you farmed FBI with him a lot, you were saying?
Yeah, we literally would farm it like every day. And he never betrayed me. We would just generally share loot. We never even got mad at each other because we were like, we just worked together well.
That's good to hear.
It was just good. It was fun.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see that he has at least some morals, theoretically. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so, um, what about some people you PvP with?
Well, I think the past player that I PvP'd best with was I don't remember their name, but I remember that someone in the past I was PvPing well. I think it might have been Austin, but I think he was like undercover.
SN
I'm not
Austin?
sure.
$ SN Austin?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But that's like other than just Death Watch, then that's the like past.
Well, I feel like you
That's
shouldn't just
actually.
generalize Deathwatch into other than Deathwatch. I feel like you should mention the names of, because
I
Deathwatch,
I
has
mean, in Death
members.
Watch too.
Yeah, yeah. Include who you farmed FBI with and did PvP with for the people in Deathwatch as well.
But I never found FBI or did. I mean, I did PvP, but I never found FBI with anyone in Death Watch.
Okay.
But I did PvP and I PvP'd with Viper. Viper's good at PvP. And yeah, who else? What did I PvP with? Yeah, mainly Viper. Viper's quite good at PvP. Although he does kind of get cocky when he starts like shouting at you and saying, "Nah, bro, what are you doing? Get good."
Yeah, yeah, we
And
love
he,
Viper. He's got a mouth on him though.
yeah,
What are some other players? I'm
and
sure you could think of a plethora of more people you have PvP'd with in Deathwatch.
oh, in Deathwatch there's also Bob. Bob is quite good.
I feel like you're definitely forgetting some core players that you've PvP'd with in Deathwatch.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to think. I can't think. It's kind of late.
This is funny.
I'm trying to think. Who is there?
I think there's one fairly obvious
Is
person you tend to PvP with.
oh you?
Yes, there you go.
Except you can't. Yeah.
Except what?
Except you kind of quit, so
Well,
now
yeah, it
I
still
don't got into
counts.
PvP anymore.
I quit
Yeah, I guess.
yesterday. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next question. Um, what clans have you been in, and if you left them, why did you leave them? And what were your experiences in different clans that you've been in?
Well, there used to be a tree clan, which I used to be in, but the first clan I ever was in was MM. And then I think MM died, so then I just had to like just kind of stroll with it, just kind of go. I still wore the fire tags like my whole entire time playing Bunk. And Tree Clan, I it, it died like quite fast because it didn't have a Discord. It literally just was like in-game clan. It didn't have any organization, anything. So it just died quite fast. But it was like a big clan. There was a lot of people in it. Yeah, and I remember it was a good clan. I was there when it was like kinda. I think you guys already quit by February 2022, but I was like joining when you guys were quitting, like ending the war. Yeah, and then there's
Nice.
Deathwatch, which I
That's good to hear.
joined last. Yeah, and Deathwatch is a most like previous clan I've been in. That's it. I've only been in like very few clans,
Okay,
mainly
cool.
Deathwatch and MM.
Yeah, I don't think I would count Tree because I don't really consider a clan an actual clan unless they have a Discord. So I would consider Tree an emoji that a bunch of people in the game used. I would not consider them a clan though. So you've only been in Deathwatch and MM, which is a great track record in my eyes. Can you talk a bit about your experiences in Deathwatch and MM? How they differ, or what you liked and what you disliked about them?
Well, in MM, I didn't have access to a mic at that time, so I couldn't really talk in the Discord, and I couldn't really like chat properly. I would only have to
Well,
be able to chat
that's
um
not really a gripe you have
and
with the
typing.
clan. That's kind of on your end, I feel. What are some. Let's focus on talking about the clan, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The clan was good back then. I remember that we were quite good. We were powerful and stuff. And in this Deathwatch now, we were slightly less powerful. I think people lost their touch with the game. Like
Yeah, there
they
were some people
they
that were
just
rusty, and we also had a lot of veterans that did not return, whereas some enemy veterans did return. We also had a lot of our veteran clan members return. But yeah, we definitely were also a lot more strict on who we let in, so we had a less powerful clan but better community, which overall I think is a better playing experience. I would say we had 25 active members in our clan, which is probably about half of the 50 active members we had in our prime in the second or third incursion we had as MM. But yeah, honestly I would say more fun because you're with a more tight knit group of better players, and overall, I think we had better PvPers. Better people tend to be better PvPers on average. When you're more picky with who you let in the clan based off of people, you also tend to have um, better PvPers on average, I would say. Um, but yeah, we definitely didn't number spam as much as we used to this incursion around. But yeah, what are some things about Deathwatch?
Oh, which is just it's like a good clan, but every time like it starts getting good, like it gets big. Sometimes people like the other clans start quitting, but like I know you don't like it, but I like it when there's competition. I'm like very competitive, so
I
like
like competition. I
I don't
just,
like
as a leader, I have to do what's best for the
and
clan, and I have to be careful when the enemies are growing in numbers or in skill or in power. So I have to
yeah,
worry
no,
for that because if we get run down and we're overpowered, then that's going to be a very, very bad day for us and Bunktown as a whole. So I got to make sure we're in power. We're the superpower in the game at all times, and it's less important to manage how overpowering we are. It's more important to make sure that we're number one. Does that make sense?
yeah,
It's sort of looking at the idea of it's the same thing as if you think about it like it's better to have not enough enemies than to have too many enemies. But don't always look at it in numbers.
yeah,
Look
I
at it in
guess.
terms of overall power. So yeah, and activity, which is a part of power. Anyways, boy, I'm getting tired. Anything else you want to say about your experiences in Deathwatch or MM?
Oh, I feel like sometimes people deserve a second chance because like they did a bad choice because everyone does bad choices and
Not
like
everyone,
they
no.
get called.
Most people do.
I
Well,
know,
okay, in video games, not everyone makes bad choices. In real life, yes, everyone makes bad choices.
I know, but like for example, like some people they go into alts and they start just beating their own clan and teaming against them, which like I know some people have done in the past, and like sometimes they just do that because they think it's fine, although it's not, and then they get like told off and they think get blamed and betrayed. They think people say they betrayed, but they just kind of wanted a change and then they wanted like to change back, but they don't know that it does.
Yeah.
Big, small actions can do big consequences
Anyone
and
with at
stuff like
least
that.
two brain cells should think that is common sense that that is not allowed. And if anyone thinks that is
Yeah, I know.
allowed, then they probably have less than two brain cells. Not literally, I'm saying that, not like actually literally, it's an expression, I'm just saying they're dumb, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely sad to see how a lot of people have that stupid mindset. That's what happened with Alpha to a degree, but Alpha did a lot worse than just that. Anyways, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, it's definitely sad to see. Um, so what is the point you're making? You think there should be more second chances towards those
sometimes
people?
sometimes some people deserve second chances. Sometimes it's not every case, but like sometimes people do just a dumb single decision that makes it into a big consequence that they might not be able to fix. Like
Yeah.
sometimes people deserve a second chance. Like they didn't mean it for it to be like the end of the world.
Yeah, sometimes there's some very misguided people that do have good in them that can be guided to the good side. I agree. Is there any particular
Yeah.
people you have in mind when you're thinking about this that you feel like they didn't get second chances when they should have?
Nah, I think everyone got a second chance when they did. Like my brother, for example, my brother betrayed and then you gave him a second chance. And now he's back in the clan and helping and stuff.
Yeah, your brother has
He
been
gave
very,
you
very
files.
helpful, I gotta say. Have you watched the new video I uploaded recently?
Which one? I didn't see, I don't
The
think.
one
Is it
explaining how
the...
your boy betrayed.
Oh, I didn't see it. It's on your YouTube channel.
Yes, I uploaded it maybe 2 hours ago. Your
Okay.
brother was quite helpful in the making of that video, so tell him I said thank you.
I,
Um,
I will.
yeah, um, tell him in person, that I said thank you. That'll mean
Yeah,
a
I will.
lot. Um,
He's not here right now.
okay, cool.
He's
Yeah,
sleeping.
just tomorrow or something. Don't wake him up, of course.
Yeah.
So do you have the other three people in the top five figured out yet?
Oh. So in the top five, I'm just gonna say like all. Can I say all the names? Like, and then I'll
Yeah, you
think
can
of them.
you can say the order from number five to number one, and then you can talk about them if you want to.
So I think maybe five would be like probably like mm, let's say five is someone that's not in the clan, so that makes it more. Let's say
No, don't worry about if they're in the clan or out of the clan. Just be completely
no,
honest
but like
on who it
okay then
is.
okay. Um, so there's Viper because like he kind of he's five, so because he like kind of has a mouth that he kind of talks. And there's Bob because he's good at PvP. He's friendly. He doesn't do that many weird things. That many, but he's still he's cool. Yeah. And then there's maybe Bot. Bot is quite good, except he has threatened me so many times to hack me, even though I didn't know that he can't actually hack.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
then
Bunktown players do that. Sleepy's a good example as well, I think.
yeah, and then there's you. You're second because you're a good leader and everything. You're a good guy. You have good decisions and stuff like that. You good PvP. You lead the clan well.
Thank
And
you.
then the first is Myth because he's literally like the only person that's never betrayed me since the start. I'm pretty sure I helped
I
Myth
haven't.
start
What do
as
you
well.
mean by that? I have never betrayed you since the start.
I know. Like I trained Myth into the game. I'm pretty sure. Like me and him like started out, and we both started from the start. And legit, like I actually like talked to him. You were kind of like a leader back then, and when there was like it was too big the clan for me to
Yeah,
get like
it was
properly
harder to
known.
have smaller one-on-one friendships. That's one of the
Yeah,
many reasons I like a smaller clan like this, of better PvPers and closer community. You
yeah.
know,
And back
that's one of the
then
main
it was
reasons I also
HM
returned
and
to
Myth.
Bunktown. Do you remember that video that I made about why I returned to Bunktown? The 30-minute long video.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I skipped a bit because it was 30 minutes and I have like not that much time on screens and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
unless it's like now.
Well, I would go rewatch that. There's a lot of important things said in that video when you get a chance. But yeah, I Bunktown's great because you have that small group, um, you know, gaming experience while it
Yeah.
also being an open world MMO, which is very rare, and it's nice that Bunktown has that, and it has that because it's such a small game, so that's really cool. But yeah, no, sorry I couldn't hang out with you as much, but I'm glad that I can more now that the clan's smaller, and
Yeah.
now that we left Bunktown, the clan's gonna get. Well, honestly, I gotta say, the active group of people could increase compared to Bunktown because we're playing such a variety of games, but it's a lot hard to measure and predict now that we're playing many different games and we're gonna be moving to Delta Force, so. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely better with no more than like 25 people, I would say. Whereas, Prime MM had like 45 people, which is just too much. You can't have as close quality friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, sounds good. Is there anything else you want to say about those 5 people?
Yeah, no. HM would have been on the list, but he betrayed, and because basically Myth and HM, I kind of like helped them to start. They were like noobs, like they literally didn't know how to play the game. I helped them. They got trained by other people as well, and then they got better than me. And then HM got proud, and because he was better than me, he started like beating me. But then Myth, he knows
Belittling
he's
you?
better than me, so yeah. But Myth, he knows he's better than me. He's richer than me, probably. He's better at PvP than me, but he still doesn't betray.
Well, he still gets crushed by my
Decent.
clan
Like,
at the end of the day, so I don't really care.
yeah, for real. I know, but he can destroy me
Our
in
clan,
2v
not
on
my
on.
clan.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, in a way it's my clan. In a way it's our clan. I prefer to say our clan, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what updates would you like to see come to Bunktown? Spend a lot of time talking on this one.
Well,
This is the second to last question.
well, I want anything really. I want like new items, new bosses. It's kind of getting repetitive because like we play like and play and play, and it's just kind of when you do the boss, it just doesn't feel that good. Since the first time, when you finish the boss the first time, you're like, yes, I did it. But then when you do it a lot of times, it just becomes too easy, and it kind of just doesn't get into a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to like have new things, like a boss that you won't know what he can do and stuff like that.
So new content. That's what
And
you're saying.
yeah, Soros kind of needs to get off the other game that he's making. I don't know what the name is right now. It just hopped off my mind. But yeah,
Bandit.rip.
he has to. Yeah, Bandit Rip. He has to help with Bunk a bit, just fix it up a bit, add some updates, and then come back to Bandit Rip. Although Bandit Rip is a good game.
I don't think it comes anywhere near Bunktown in terms of level of
Yeah, I know.
amazing balance and game structure and potential and just amazing game
Yeah,
overall. Bunktown's
yeah.
top
You can't
three
really.
favorite games of all
You
time
can't.
for me, I would say, or top five.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there
That's
any?
it. Yeah.
Could you be more specific on what you think some of the new content should be? What are some cool ideas you might have and stuff you want to see? Also, I would like to finish the
I was.
interview in 9 minutes from now. We still have one more question after this.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking of like a scientist boss or something that would have different types of vials. You can also use in a V-gun, and it would like shoot like health vials that can give you like 10 HP or something like that. And then like poison vials, which is basically just virus. And then like other vials that would give you like special effects like speed and maybe like something like Minecraft, but just like more special, like potions, but like that you can use in a V-gun. Maybe you can use them yourself as well, like a hand sand, you know, like you throw it like a vial, but then you can like run into it like a hand sand, and you can use it like that. So like a
Awesome. That
scientist
sounds
boss,
great. I
not
think
like
what you're
Delta.
trying to say is you want status effects to be added to the game. More of them.
Yeah,
Because right now we only have wanted, COVID, and um, the anti dash. I think that's it, right?
yeah, I think.
Yeah. All right.
And also, yeah,
Anything else?
well, yeah, I think I don't know if it was fake Saros or real Saros. Like when he was in the game,
That was
like
not
some
real
guy was
him.
in the game.
That was a player that
Saros
now
not
goes
play.
by the name Nightmare. He's one of the most notorious liars in the game's history and has arguably the darkest history with Deathwatch compared to anyone else that has been banned from Deathwatch. He's not a good person. He's very
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I know. Yeah, well, I don't know if it was that guy because he was a level 1 guy. And I was talking to him and we were just talking about new things that could be added to the game. Like maybe more space in the
Doubt it was the
Santa
real
bag.
tears, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe new space in the Santa bag or something like that. Maybe another safe, like near casino or something. Something that you can save, like in another place, so you'd have to keep running forward and back every time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like things like, I don't know, new bosses, bosses that just generally better. Maybe a trooper gun, that would be good. If you could get a trooper gun, like an AR, not a mini, like an AR, like one that would shoot like 4 bullets, but like straight.
Yeah, I
good trooper
personally
does.
think that we already kind of have something similar to that with the handgun. Not that close. I feel like the big thing we're missing would be like a sniper rifle. Um,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, like
Um,
it'll do like most of the damage, leave like
mhm.
10 HP.
And then I think in addition to
Or
that,
maybe
some sort
all.
of explosive, like a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher or a hand grenade. I think
Play
that
all
would be
grenade. Yeah,
really useful.
with the grenade boss, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now the final. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to the final question?
Nah.
All right, cool. Is there anything else you want to tell us in this interview about yourself, about some of the things we've talked about literally anything to do with your story in Bunktown? Add some final thoughts in the last 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, kinda. I started Bunk. The people there were kinda nice to me in the start. Right now, if someone joins, they're not really like treated like they would be back then. Back then, when there was a new player, they would just like give him a bunch of loot. I remember a guy gave me like 20 minis just because I was new. He gave me like so many minis, so many shotguns, so many plagues just because I was new. And they were just being like nice and being
I feel like
kind
that
just
can
because
kind of
I was new.
backfire though and defeat the purpose of what the experience of early game actually is. Honestly,
Yeah, I
like
know, I know. I did.
the new players I've brought to the game, a lot of them like get a bunch of loot in the beginning and then like tell me that it kind of ruins the point of the game and the early game experience because it's like yeah, I remember Gawain telling me he didn't use any of the loot he got from all the loot he was gifted to the players when he made his return to Bunktown along with us in the most recent incursion. Thinking about the fact that he has not played this game very much in the past, even though he's played it a little, he was very poor when he returned. I don't even think he had like a full farming kit.
Yeah, well, I I do have that experience. I know how to farm the bosses. Like, I don't know, for example, I never done Delta, ever.
Oh
I never
wow.
done it. I never finished it. Although I did see your video about it, but I'm honestly, and I would get like too much pressure on myself. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I feel like you should
And
experience Delta before you quit the game. I think it's really fun. Delta's one of
yeah,
the one of the best bosses to farm in the game for profit. It's just overall a really great experience, and I think Delta. I don't know if Tears intended for Delta to be the final boss, but I feel like the casino update and the Delta boss is a really good end. Like, it's like the COVID boss, and the whole game is structured around fighting COVID-19.
yeah,
It feels like a very good end to the game, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So if this is the last update, I think it is it. Casino was a very good last update, and the
yeah,
Delta and Casino together as an update, it was great. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, not really.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having
Just
this
that,
interview.
really.
I'll go ahead
No
and
problem.
anything you want to say to the viewers to conclude.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Thank you. All right.
Share the video.
Yes.
Bye bye.
All right. See you later. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Comment something down
Thank you
below
for watching, guys.
if you like the interview or a response to anything we said. We're always looking for deep, meaningful comments about what we talked about. So, yeah, have a good night, guys. Have a good night, Nova. I'll see y'all later.